This is Billy Ho Sports, and I'd like to welcome you back to the 2024 PGA golf season. Kind of sounds wild in my brain thinking it's going to be 2024 next year in just a few months. Anyway, fall swing's always an exciting time for your seasoned DFS players like myself and others included. Hopefully you guys watching, my boys in the Discord, shout out Billy Ho's Flophouse. We're going to try to boost our return on investment this season, hopefully. So we often see the influx of the NFL week 1, week 2 bros dabbling in the PGA. Hey, what's this PGA thing going on here? I hear it's really popular. You get to play six golfers and you get 4 days. So it's always fun to do that. Billy Ho contest is out, by the way, so get up on that. What we're going to do today is just take a look at the early ownership from rickrungood.com, an early model that I ran, and maybe do just some kind of bounce around some ideas on some lineup construction and try to get a better sense of the players, because these types of events you can just really dip. I mean, you can leave probably $1,500 minimum on the table as far as salary goes if you so choose to. I mean, winners a lot of time, of course, Max Homa has won it the last 2 years in a row, but there's been some other guys besides Max in there, and leaving salary going down, it leaves you room to get up to a Max Homa. So we're going to look into that. So thanks for sticking around. Please subscribe to the channel, smash that like, leave a comment. Let's go. Okay, this is our first look at the ownership, and I just glanced at it just a few minutes ago, so I'm seeing it for the first time. It's kind of obvious to me up top that it's going to be Max Homa, 30% owned. That may even rise. Single entry contests, I would see 35% probably. So be on the lookout for that. And then obviously, typically, and I kind of like to see this, Justin Thomas, a big dip, half the ownership, which is always nice. I mean, you got Justin Thomas and Steven Yeager within $300 of each other, and Yeager's 20% owned, and Justin Thomas is 16 and change. That's just crazy to me. Cam Davis the same way. I mean, I'm on the inclination that JT has got his game back to somewhat together, because it's not like he was god awful. I know he missed like several cuts here leading up and had some bad finishes, but he also had a 9th place finish and he had a 12th place finish in his last tournament. So plenty long off the tee. We know that. He still gains fantasy points, and he's really just kind of mundane. And I think if he can he tried to do the aim point thing with like the do you even putt bros, and I just don't think that it registered with him. I think he just needs to get back to doing what he's doing. He's kind of like Tiger Woods in a way, the way he putts. He's just the traditional line it up over the ball, shoulders, and just that kind of thing. And he just needs some confidence is all he needs, in my opinion. So getting down here into the more guys that kind of sparked my interest just in this top level. I can't say that Webb Simpson's 5th place finish last time out is going to do it for me, because he's not really, he had a 30th place finish a couple of years ago, but 8,900, I'm not paying that for Webb Simpson until I see a little bit more from him. A lot of these guys really don't have the best course history, but like say a guy like Mark Hubbard down here at 8,300 is probably going to be a play of mine, especially if Montgomery is 22%. So that would be the first pivot. Anything over 8% ownership, I guess, would be considered a pivot, 8 to 15%. So if you get a guy like Brendan Todd at 13, are you going to play him over Eric Cole? Well, Brendan Todd has got the much better course history, 9th and 22nd. So I would consider it. And I was all over some Brendan Todd in the last few weeks of the season. The guy was really striking it well. He doesn't kind of fit the profile of what I wanted. I want distance this week. So what I did was, and we'll come back to this in just a second, but I wanted to give you a first look at the custom model. So basically what I did was, instead of just going through and setting all this stuff the way I did, I thought, well, what tournament does this remind me of? And it's Rocket Mortgage. Just tree line fairways, just bomb it and then go find it and hit wedges into greens and make putts and score. And that's just kind of how I feel about Silverado. It's very similar type of course. And as far as like the scoring and the skill set wise. So when I ran this model, and I did tweak a couple of things, I moved a little more to the birdies and the implied win percentage and things of that nature. But Cam Davis comes up first in my model. And then I got Max Homa. Doug Gim is definitely one I would consider. It's kind of hard. I went the last 36 holes, and a lot of these guys, 36 holes might be for them a month farther back than the others because of the FedEx playoffs and guys that didn't make it. But I mean, guys like Charlie Hoffman up here, and if we go back and look at Charlie Hoffman, I don't really know there he is. Excuse me, 4% owned, 7,300 is not bad. He did finish 22nd here last year, and he did have a 12th place finish in the last tournament. So he's showing some form, and he's always been able to hit it long. It's just the putter is usually his main bugaboo, and the irons seem to be pretty good. But so a guy like Charlie Hoffman, I'll definitely be considering this week. Akshay Bhatia did recently get engaged, and a lot of people say that that's the beginning of the end of your career when you get married. But it's just kind of a joke. So I don't really know. He's a guy that can score, though, so I'll be keeping an eye on him. And don't get it twisted. I would play some Steven Yeager because the guy can flat out score in these birdie fests as well. And he's added a little distance off the tee, too. So all these guys are under consider. Eric Cole, that guy can just make putts, and that's always good for DraftKings scoring. Taylor Pendrith, Dylan Wu. These are all Dylan Wu, JJ Spawn, Nate Lashley are some of the probably non-distance guys that I would consider. Probably Putnam as well. He had a pretty good run in the fall last year, along with Hubbard. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a mix and match approach. People have been bringing up in the chat about Cam Champ, and I don't know about Cam Champ. 7,700. He did win this tournament, I mean, a few years ago, but that was 2020. So he's missed the last two cuts, and he did have a 17th place finish in one of his recent tournaments during the summer, but you could see all the missed cuts. It's just really tough to pull the trigger on a guy like that. Then you got a guy like Cheston Hadley, who would be kind of in the same boat, even though he's not the capable winner that Champ has shown himself to be, multiple PGA winner. Garrick Higgo is getting a lot of talk. I would consider him as well because he's had some good finishes wrapping up the summer. And although he did miss his first cut trying here last year, it'll take some deeper diving. But I always want to look for the fantasy points gained. So that's what we're looking at. And going over here just real quick to wrap up this quick show. Well, let's go back. I apologize. I want to go back down here and just dip. And I don't think once you hit, I'd say somewhere in this mid to low 7Ks, throw ownership out the window because none of these guys are going to, I mean, it's going to be spread. I actually looked at Jimmy Walker. And then you got guys down here, Tano Goya. I think some of these guys are going to make the jump this year. There's a couple of good guys down here that finished well last year. Harrison Endicott. So, but you can see there's no ownership. So anyway, finishing up over here, what I did was the first thing I did, I mean, you got to make a lineup with Max Homa. I don't think you can. I think you can be underweight on him if you don't think he's going to win. but I don't see how he was playing so well. If we go back over and look at the cheat sheet one last time, I wanted to see the recent form finishing up. I mean, you know, that's a lot of green, and that's going back prior to the FedEx. I mean, this is the Tour Championship, which ninth is all right, but I think he actually dropped a couple of spots because he was like third on the list. But previous to that, the fifth and the sixth, the 10th and the 12th, all lend you to believe when Max Homa is driving the ball well, which he is right now, he does everything else, follows along the putting and everything. So I don't see how you can fade him. Maybe it's an all-in week for Max Homa. Just play him in all your lineups and then figure it out from there. But there are guys like Davis. So the up top guys, all these guys really are in play for me, all the way down to Cole, and I may even consider Todd. I can't pull the trigger on a Hostler, but I might look at Spawn. I'm not pulling the trigger on Noren Simpson. Maybe Herbert. I don't know. He's not the kind of guy I would play at 8,800. But like Bhatia, Hubbard, that's a little expensive for Nick Hardy, who hasn't been in the greatest form. But Gim, I love Gim on pole grass greens. So like I would just like you could take Max Homa on top and then just completely gloss the 9K range. And then you can just grab, say, Hubbard and Gimmer, and you still got 7,500. I mean, if you wanted to, you can really dip down. I actually was looking at guys like Trevor Werbelow, who made a lot of cuts in the fall last year. I really haven't dipped down in the low sixes just yet, but you can see how easy it is just to build a lineup this way. And then if you clear it and say hashtag fade the upper guys, I wouldn't do that. I think the winner is going to be likely. I mean, Cam Davis has got a real shot to win this. He's been playing so well toward the end of the year. So, I mean, if you wanted to start with Davis, maybe do a Davis Thigala. I really want to get Thigala in there, but with Homa, it's hard to do. Basically, what you'd have to do is dip way down into the low sixes, and I don't always want to do that, but you can build this way as well, and then just go straight into the 7Ks. Guys like Kevin Yu has been playing really well. I like the Carl Yuan. Guys like that can play. Cameron Percy is actually kind of sneaky too. 6,700. That guy has made cuts at this tournament year after year. And I'm going to show you that real quick. Here's Cam Percy. 25th, 64, 23, and 7. The guy just seems to just show up. And I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do it. He's in his 40s, but guy you can consider for sure. Ryan Moore's another old schooler down here that can hit the ball straight. Trevor Cohn is a long ball hitter, so he's a guy I might have some interest in. The Gribbler, if you want to go lefties, you can go Higo and Gribble. I would play both of them in a lineup and feel all right with it. Nacho, that's Nico, but I call him Nacho. But anyway, I won't keep you any longer. You can see how this lays out. I just wanted to get something out there for you guys to look at, to show you a little ownership where people were leaning right off the bat. So you can just scan right through there and see that, where a custom model might be looking in the top spot. So things of that nature. So I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. More golf to come, kicking off the 2024 season. Let's get it.